Yeah. Right. You are welcome today, everyone. You're welcome. And
thank you.
Today we're going to continue with data analytics. But before then, I'm going to ask some few questions based on what we have actually examined the last time. Based on what we actually examined the last time in data analytics. So I'm going to ask simple question. What does descriptive analytics aim to accomplish? What does descriptive analytics aim to accomplish?
It summarizes past descriptive analytics, summarizes past data to understand what has happened in the past.
Okay. Any other person? Do we all agree on that?
Yes.
Okay. That's good. A very nice answer to that. What it does aims to summarize historical data, to extract meaningful insight and comprehend past occurrences. That is what it's actually doing. That's very good.
Can we give it
Good.
An example.
Yeah.
Example will be maybe like a retail store. Like a retail store uses its past sales data to see what's the best selling product or what's the best selling item, and what periods are best for, say, for example, summer is the best to sell light curtain clothes, or winter is the best time to sell winter coats. So they look at their historical data to determine whatever they need to put out there for customers.
Okay. Has anybody got another example? How can descriptive analytics be applied in a retail setting?
Okay, I think that's the example I just gave, isn't it?
That's what I said. I said that. Has anybody got another example?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
In the areas of, say, buildings and medication, healthcare. First, in the area of building, it used to be a trendy thing to see when you build a house, use what's the name of this zinc that is very harmful to health?
Lead.
Lead, yeah, the zincs, yeah, lead zinc. That would, but after so much analysis going through the health implication of this, the trend now has been, based on the advice of government and the health authorities, the trend now is for people to now move away from such building materials to much healthier materials for roofing their houses.
Is that asbestos? Is it?
Yes, asbestos. Thank you. So the tendency is now for people to now move away from asbestos to a much healthier roof for homes and all that stuff.
Okay, so you're talking about in construction company and design as well.
Yeah. In terms of medication, in terms of the hospitals as well, there are medications which have been used in the past, only to be discovered now that they are seriously harmful to human consumption.
Absolutely.
And so we are advising patients, even people who have not been prescribed or people who buy over the counter, please do not use this and that. Cigarette is another typical example where it's been advised by the Asian government, please, you must put place on the pack that cigarette or smoking is dangerous to health. So that would also push people's preference to a much healthier means of
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also the governmental policy as well.
Yeah.
That effect. Thank you. In other words, in retail, descriptive analytics can be used to analyze sales records and customer data to identify, peak shopping, season and also best-selling products at a time. So it's from historical data anyway. So moving forward, what challenge might a company face when sales unexpectedly decline in a specific region despite ongoing marketing efforts in terms of advertisement as well?
All right. Come again with the question.
The question,
What,
okay.
what challenge might a company face when sales unexpectedly decline in a specific region despite ongoing marketing effort?
Competition. Oh, sorry, madam was talking.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Companies may face challenges in terms of their sales. If one, they've not updated their profile in terms of what they are offering to a particular region as to meet the target market they are meant to be targeting. Two, if you have similar competition in the same region where they will have to fight for the target markets such that one's brand is better than the other or one's brand is much fashionable than the other. Three, the likelihood of a sudden government policy where taxation may impact their sale. All of a sudden, government has increased VATs or some other forms of taxation, which may impede or take a large chunk from their profits. Four, probably the human resources factor, where they cannot even have the specialist locally they can employ to produce these things. Therefore, they may have to now bring in people, pay at a higher rate, which will now impact on their sales. Then five, maybe they've increased the cost of their products due to high cost of production, and so that will impact sale as well. So those are the likely or more likely things a company may be facing.
For me, are you done, sir?
Yeah, I am done.
Okay. For me, the first challenge a company faces when is the financial situation. Of course, there'll be no profits. So of course, that affects every other thing they do. It will affect the staff. It will affect buying of new products. It will affect customers because customers want to come in there and they see and want to see what they want. So and any organization that does not have what the customer wants will automatically fall apart because the customers will go elsewhere. So they'll go to other competitors that have got it. And so that way they will find it difficult to retain their customers. It could also affect if it can also affect morale amongst the employees because when there's no sales, of course, the employees start getting worried that very soon there's going to be a layoff of staff and who will get affected. So, of course, those who are contractors or those who are new in usually are the first out the door. So that's a worrying situation. And based on that, many of the staff to start looking out elsewhere to say, okay, let me get a better job elsewhere because at this one that the company is going down, it's possible we'll all be losing our jobs very soon. So you see that the employment rates, the employees start looking for other companies to go to. So of course that affects the turnover of the company. And then it also their sales. It will affect their sales everywhere, online, in-house, everywhere, physical sales. because there's a decline. So basically, I think the whole thing is the financial situation on that company. Lack of sales means lack of profits, and then there becomes a domino effect on other things. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'm very thrilled with different challenges that you kind of brought forward. Yeah, so one of the things is that need to be mentioned is understanding the reason behind the sudden drop in sales. So the reason, these are the ones you have mentioned, two of you have mentioned are the reasons why. But if people do not understand the reason behind the drop in the sale, despite consistent marketing endeavors, the challenge is going to be so prominent. In fact, it's going to be seen at all times. So whatever you have given there, those are the reasons, why, and that must be understood, because anytime it's not understood, then to mitigate and case those challenges are not in view. So it's very important. Thank you so much for that. I have another question before we finish the aspect of the analytics remaining. So could you provide an example of how business resolve a sale drop issue using descriptive analysis?
Okay. In terms of retail, in terms of retail,
Yes, for
a
example.
good example would be one, from the descriptive analysis they must have undertaken, they would need to if it's a big company that's got research departments, research and development.
Yep.
They will need to first and foremost evaluate the performance of their current products, such that they will need to find out why is this particular product dropping, not making no. So they will go out there and check out and see what their competitors have got, who is their competitors and what they've got. And probably, well, in a competitive world, data are sold. They can, one way or the other, buy data from their competitors. What is behind their profits? They will have a depth of whether the company, their competitors, making sales at all, whereas they are doing similar things, they are not. So what's the edge? Once they find out, they will come back and implement that to see if their product will go up. The sales of their product will go up. Then two, they may completely leave that product up together and go into alternative products, i.e. M&S.
M&S, yeah.
You can see that they've systematically moved away from cloth making to food selling.
And that's complementary, not just moving away.
Okay, complement, okay, yeah. But they are doing very well. Their last end of year sales, annual sales, made more profit from food than from clothing. So that's why they're opening stores, expanding their reach. And then thirdly is the techniques or the technology behind their products. If they are still using an older ways of making the same products as their competitors and not meeting demands, obviously they will lose some of their customers who will be rest assured that they will get the same competitive products from their competitors. So they will move away from that those companies, And then in terms of food itself, there are perishable goods. And if a company does not have the technology to preserve food, and they've end up wasting them in terms of having to meet government regulations to say, look, after a certain period, this food cannot be, you can't sell this food to the public. They will have to throw it away. They've lost money. So all this, I think I'll stop there.
You've tried anyway. That was a very good try. And okay, any other person? How could you provide an example of please provide an example of how a business resolve, sales drop issue using descriptive analytics? Okay. Any other person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could try. So, of course, like we said before, descriptive analysis is a historical summary of what has occurred in the past.
Yep.
So, using an example of which company should I use now? Let me use the example of company. Let me use the example of company Efe's company. When there was a decline in sales, what we did was we looked at the data of why there was a decline in sales.
That's correct.
And we noticed that there was a lot of products like mugs. The mugs we had, which had the Queen's logo on it. No one was buying them because obviously the Queen had died, so nobody wanted. They all wanted King Charles' picture on the mugs. So what we did was we took an inventory of all that we had, and we removed all the mugs from the shops, and took them back to the producers, to the manufacturers where we normally buy them from, and told them that, well, nobody's buying these things anymore, so we need to get rid of them. If there was a way of them recycling it and giving it back to us, this time with King Charles logo on it. And they said, yes, there was no problem, that all they would do is they would take them, destroy them, and then reuse the materials to make new mugs and have Prince Charles' face put on it. So that was one of the things we did. So we removed them from the shop floor and took them back, and then they gave us new ones with this time with King Charles' face on it. That was one of the things we did. And then we noticed that a lot of customers who were coming into the shop were mostly older people. Who were mostly older people. So and then the younger people, when they come in, what they ask for, especially the tourists, because the shop was in an area where tourists frequent. When they come into the shops, all they were looking for were things like key holder and fridge magnets. So based on that, we decided that rather than having just the mugs, we'd also go for fridge magnets and key holders with Prince Charles logo on it, because a lot of Americans used to patronize they come into the shop, but they weren't really buying anything. So they just come, browse and look. And then we now started doing, we had people on the shop floor who were taking a survey of people coming in and just saying if they would like to fill a quick questionnaire out, which they did. And they said that most of the times the things we were selling were not geared towards the younger generation. They would love the so and so items. Based on that, we decided to look at the capital we had, and then we ordered more stock based on what the young people wanted. And then we also offered them loyalty discounts that anytime they come around to the area, if they buy the fridge magnets from them, we'll give them a key ring free. And based with all that, before we knew, there was an increase in sales. We contacted the production company and even ordered 10% more goods. And with the 10% goods ordered, our own sales went up by 30%. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you for the two contributors. May I ask you about kind of returning the mug that the Queen's head on to the company, to the manufacturing company. Was there any contract based on returning?
Yes, we had a contract with them previously, but we hadn't actually utilized that contract. So I had to pull up that contract to say this is what we've had in the past. Yeah, and if they were still willing to honor it, and they say yes, they were fine. As long as so it was just a straightforward exchange. We take these mugs back from you, get rid of the Queen's face, put the King's face on it at no cost to you. So it was a win-win for all.
Okay.
Because put it this way, if we had returned it back to them and say, right, we want our money back, it would be at a loss to them too, because the profit they were going to make was going to be at a loss.
No, but if you haven't got a contract that you can return,
so we had a contract.
You won't take it.
Yeah, we definitely had a contract.
Okay, that's what I want to establish, because you can't buy something and say because it's not being sold, you have to return that to the production company without an express consent prior to that in terms of contract, and then you can return it. So that's the difference that exists in these two retail shop, M&S and Premac. Premac, by virtue of their contract with manufacturing companies, most of them, both of them have the same manufacturing company. Difference is the quality control. So while M&S have a very tight quality control, Prema has a very wide range of quality control with a contract that if anything is not kind of being sold or not working fine, there's a quality, they deserve to return it back to the manufacturing company. So that can be recycled. So that depends on a contract being put in place before then. Anyway, those two of you have actually really explained vividly. I was listening with keen interest to know where the root cause of the sales decline started from, what you mitigate against it, how did you do that, and what was the result of your mitigation. And actually, two of you are explaining very well. So by utilizing descriptive analytics, the company sometimes discover that the decrease correlate with an economy, sometimes economy downturn in that region. It could be any other factor, could be natural issue that has caused economy downturn. It could be political issue. So that could lead them to device targeted marketing campaigns to address local economic concerns. And you, like the example you brought now, you actually really look at the concerns, the economic value of the items you sell in your shop or in your company. Then you devise a means to target more market, and marketing niche to get a marketing campaign to get your sales up, which is very good. You get this because of descriptive analytics, past data that you summarize. That's very good. Okay. Maybe I'm going to ask probably one more question on analytics, descriptive analytics. Then we'll go on. Probably, if there is time, I'm going to ask some diagnostic analytic question before we finish the aspect of data analytics. Okay. How does descriptive analytics contribute to decision making in business? I know you just flash this one like normal business. Okay.
How what?
How does analytics contribute? How does descriptive analytics contribute to decision making in business?
Anybody want to go first?
You go first then.
Okay. As earlier said, I'm looking at the definition of what descriptive analysis is in almost every firm. Is a huge factor in decision making in making far-reaching, not just far-reaching, exploratory and targeted decisions for the company. because with that distributed analytics, the company will look back to what they are doing, look at the present, what they are doing, and see what change they will contribute, that will impact the business and make a change. So you can see that during the COVID era, which is a natural disaster to many companies, most of the companies folded up. Those who survived had to re-engineer the company again and see if they can grab the market position they were before and go ahead and or continue in the business. So if you take a typical example like how would I put it now? You see the face mask. No, not face mask. I won't use face mask. I want something that like okay. Most banks. Let me use banks.
Banks, yeah.
Banks.
Oh, your banks, okay, yeah.
You realize that before the COVID, people can still mingle among themselves, be in the banking hall, do whatever they want to do, go back home. Even then, there was innovations where there is no human interaction. The machines are there, the technology is there for you to interact with. But when COVID came, banks closed up the services, and people started doing all their transactions from home. The reasons and major reasons when banks took those decisions was not because they cannot keep their doors open, all right, but for health reasons. And they realize also that, oh, now people are they can actually do what they are doing from home and get the same thing. What's the point keeping most of the branches open, even after COVID? So most of them, as soon as COVID ended, COVID was the reason, basic reasons, but most of the banks didn't bother to reopen their branches. It saved them costs. It saved them a whole lot of things. Some just, reallocated most of their consolidated many of their branches in one place instead of several places. So all this, when you look at it, you know that from the descriptive analytics taken, helped them with that decision taking, because it was a waste. It was purely waste of money for them to keep maintaining buildings which they didn't know, but having been caused by COVID, they thought, no, I don't think we have a need to. It doesn't make any sense to reopen buildings if you can, communicate or carry out your business from home. So that's one typical reason from the point of service. Yeah. I can't think of any other one again.
Thank you so much. Yeah, really, you tried very well. Okay. So the question again is, how does descriptive analytics contribute to decision making in business? So the essence of data to have integrity is for a proper decision making process to take place. Okay, so knowing fully well that historical data is involved in this, so you should know that we also understand that descriptive analytics assist decision making by providing a very clear overview of historical data in terms of trends, also enabling informed strategy planning and action.
Yeah.
That's what you just explained in a nutshell. Okay. All right. Okay. Glory. Okay. I'm going to ask question on diagnostic analytics. Okay. What defines diagnostic analytics? What actually defines diagnostic analytics?
It's in the name, diagnostic,
Yeah.
diagnose, and it focuses on understanding causes and reasons behind certain events or behaviors.
Mhm.
It's just like when you go to the doctor, they'll diagnose what is wrong with you, and then they will tell you what could be causing it, what behavior or events could have caused it.
Yeah.
It explains why it has happened, why something has happened.
Okay. Any other person?
Yeah, I think following what Madam has just said now,
Mhm.
there's a point in every business life or business cycle when a company may have to sit down with its board of directors and other stakeholders
Mhm.
to uh, take a look of the declining behavior or the business pattern
Mhm.
of a business concern,
Mhm.
and try to find out what's caused it,
Mhm.
see where they can reinvest,
Mhm.
try and get an outcome, that a probable outcome.
Mhm.
And so I can remember back in the days in Nigeria, when the sale of Peugeot 405,
Ojo, yeah.
yeah, in Nigeria, and it came to the point, it used to be top-notch car back then. And at a point when other competitors were now coming out with different models, Peugeot realized their sales were highly declining, not only from the populace, but even from governments who also invested in it.
Mhm.
They were also not buying their product. They came together and said, okay, what do we do? They went out in the market, saw what the trend is. And look, I think we have to pump money into research and development and see what models we can come out with to compete with the existing market out there. And so
Yeah.
the decisions.
I like the way you people answer question with using instances, examples. This is very, very good. Very, very good. But I will always want you to direct it towards mentioning data all the time and whatever.
Okay.
It's good. Very, very good. You know. So basically, basically what diagnostic analytics focus on is exploring data to identify causes behind specific trends and events. That's what he does.
Yeah.
That's what he does. Yeah, basically. So when you are, if you are a manager of a company, you're always going to be looking at the you're always going to be looking at, you're going to be focusing on exploring data to identify causes, the root causes. Always remember that, because from the word diagnosis, you should know that they try to investigate look into what it could be the cause of anything, okay, and the trend. All right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give an example of diagnostic analytics if you are being employed on an online business scenario? Now that most companies are moving digital right now, and you are a data governance manager, so can you just um, describe analytics in terms of online business scenario?
So one of the reasons where there might be, sorry, let me just look at the question. One of the examples of a diagnostic analytics in an online business could be the website for the business is very, so I noticed that our website for our online business was quite slow when I worked as a data governance manager for a online group. The website was quite slow, so customers were impatient because they want to get to what they want to buy. I also noticed that the forms used for customers wanted a situation where if they have purchased something before from our online websites, that they just need to go in there and all the details will be there. Some customers liked it and some customers did not like the fact that it always remembered their details. So they didn't like it. And then customers wanted to use our online business was only geared towards accepting certain kinds of Visa cards, Visa credit cards. We did not take American Express card. We did not take certain credit cards. And of course, that caused a decline in our sales. And then some customers were more lured by the fact that other websites had attractive things like buy one, get one free, buy these, get a reduction in the next thing that you buy. And also noticed that customers were saying that they've bought a few things from our site and it was not up to scratch what was advertised. So in other words, the quality of some of our products were a bit poor. So based on all that data which we get, based on the feedback which we were getting, I went back to the drawing board to do a spreadsheet with all this information on it. Had some sort of master data spreadsheet where all these things were put in. And the ones which had the most data survey questionnaire, we should put on our website and encourage customers to fill it after buying anything or if they did not even buy anything. So based on what they had filled out on that, we went back to the drawing board and found that a lot of the things, they had the same complaints all through. So I went back to the drawing board and the company addressed all those issues and then found that our customer sales online improved.
Love that. I really love that. Really love that.
Yeah.
What you have done is you say you investigated the reason behind the decrease in website traffic.
Yeah.
That spurred an increased marketing expenditure. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that, and you also I want you to look at it. Let's view it from a solution architect specialist from angle. Okay, because first of all, when it comes to that, I know that you try to mitigate against the decrease in website traffic. But did you implement the solution provided, or did you diagnose the solution provided by your own self, or do you employ a solution architect to that effect? And if you do employ solution architect, what did the solution architect prefer as a solution to this decline in traffic towards our website?
Yeah.
That in that somebody want to answer, or do you want me to go on?
What I'm saying is, Madam did answer that.
Yeah, so yeah, you see, that's what I'm trying to say, because if you have the concept of solution architect, you will want to know the platform you use for your website, or maybe you have migrated from a slow kind of server to AWS, Amazon website, services, where you have probably migrated, or you have that is more scalable, faster, user-friendly, well-oriented with the hardware you're using, And well, that's very good. I love that. And I love that. I love that. That is very good that you can get that done, and you were able to tell us the result of your diagnostic. That's very good.
Of course, the IT department were intricately involved in all this because the slowness of the website was down to them not probably having a good server or something. So
That's good. All right. I think I'm going too deep, so let me come back. Okay. Right. So what challenge might arise when trying to determine the cause of decreased user engagement in an online campaign? The question again, what challenge might arise when trying to determine the cause of decreased user engagement in an online campaign?
One of the few challenges may be getting correct data responses from initial investigation by way of giving out leaflets, asking questions. People are not returning it, and some just look at it, just return empty sheet of paper, no, nothing written on it, and so most times those challenges can be very difficult. And probably if it's the online one where you have to put in questionnaires to online users of such services or products, some of them will give you very bad response. And some will still, as I will say again, not even bother to give any response, sent it back blank. So there are so many, many other reasons.
Yeah. What of, some people may ask, what is it in it for me?
They want their bribe, innit?
You may be doing that, and also so many reasons why you can always have. So it is kind of challenge that may arise when you're trying to determine the root cause of online engagement. However, one of the challenges is kind of the channel, they identify the specific advertising channels, campaigns that could lead to decrease in engagement. So it's very important, getting the right one.
And another one could also be inaccurate data. Where you have
that's what Omar was trying to say as well. Yeah.
Where you have inaccurate data.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. How was a company able to improve user engagement using diagnostic analytics?
Yeah, yes, the companies can actually really improve improve users' engagement by making their questionnaires very simple to answer, by making sure users have incentives that can be given to them, some form of, if you answer these questions, we're going to give you 50% of our product or whatever costing that's there. Again, the questions should not be monotonous, such that it's yeah. And again, it shouldn't be too much, from 1 to 20. Users don't have that time. So there are just many reasons that you can use to engage and improve users' engagement. Thank you.
Thank you too. Okay. So if you look at the question, say how to improve. So what would come is just to describe what a diagnostic analysis entails. Is by analyzing data, they identify that a recent social media advert, maybe campaign, had a high click-through rate, but low conversion due to unclear calls to action. Adjusting the message could improve engagement. There are other things that it is just, I'm just using a specific scenario, but whichever may be the scenario you bring, there's always going to be a solution to it.
So,
Yeah, as long
and
as
like what, and like what I said before, I said the website was very slow. So of course, by improving the website, improving the, I don't know if it's the server performance or whatever, customers were happy to go in there because they know that it will be in and out very quickly. And then also making sure that the product descriptions were actually what they were saying, rather than, you know, sometimes you go into, say, for example, Amazon or eBay. Sometimes you want to buy something from one of those companies, and then you put in that you want to buy. I'll give an example. Let me give an example. One of my cousins wanted to buy air conditioning units. Wanted to buy air conditioning units when the weather was very hot. I think that was 2 summers ago. And she went on this website where they were selling the air conditioning units for, I think it was £50 or £40. And I said, that's very, that's unusual because most air conditioning units go from £200 and above. So for you to get one that is £50, are you sure it's real? And she said, that is £50. £50 how many one? In fact, she went on to order 3 of them for £150. And when the air conditioning units came, I think even the size of the mug I have on my table was bigger than the air conditioning units. So it couldn't even blow the face. So that was how. So of course she left a stinking feedback on that website. And then going into the website, all the feedbacks were saying that they were not really selling what they claim to be selling. But the thing is, sorry?
I said that site will be Temu.
Yeah. So the thing is, sometimes you go into some websites, and what the amount of money they put in there, you buy things from, I don't want to mention, it's a popular clothes shop now, online shop. Starts with a T. So I don't know, people might know it.
That's Temu.
Sometimes you order clothes from there, and what they're sending to you is different from what is on the website.
Misinformation.
Yes. So fixing all those things, making sure that you have the right information for customers will drive up user engagement for those companies. Because if I buy something from an online shop and what I have once beaten,
Twice shy.
beaten, twice shy. If I fail once, the shame is on you. But if I fail twice, the shame is on me. So I wouldn't go into that website again.
I did have an experience with like that too. You know, I was doing some do-it-yourself work at home. So there was this, I needed to cut a wood. I needed something to support it. There was none in the house. So I said, okay, and I went to Temu. I saw something that looks like what I needed. I said, lovely. I'm going to buy it. Before I know, I ordered it. When it was delivered, I was looking for it. One small tiny thing.
Okay, probably you didn't look at it properly before you did order. So
but the description was there.
Yeah, so sometimes people also make mistake in their ordering. That is why, because like that, the one that if it mentioned was that the person was thinking a very big air conditioning. No, it's a small one. She did look at it properly anyway.
No, she did.
It's not like that.
So what I want to say, okay, we'll investigate that one properly and see how it goes. All right. So thank you so much. I will end the question on diagnostic. I will end the question there so that I can go to the other aspect of it.
Ola say not a block. A block is a block.
Sean, have you got Paul? Have you got anything to say about the questions?
No,
I don't, Pastor. No, I don't.
How do you get it?
Okay. Or are you learning something?
Yes, I am.
Good. Next time I will ask questions so you will answer. So let me share part of this should be the one I'm sharing. Okay. Can you all see what I'm sharing, everyone?
Yes.
Only one person?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm seeing it.
Good. Right. So the last time we started with data analytics and I gave pictorial representation on data analytics and the pipeline of it. And I was able to prepare the 5 key trends in data analytics as well. We mentioned what is data analytics, and we made it clear that it refers to a systematic process of examining, cleansing, transforming, and interpreting raw data. And that will now give opportunity for people to have meaningful insight, pattern, and trends to support informed decision, to have informed decision. So we mentioned the variety of techniques being used and the methodologies to analyze data set as well, which ranges from descriptive, where we have ask some questions from, that summarize what has happened in terms of data. We'll talk about predictive forecasting, what might happen. Prescriptive, we also mentioned that suggesting what action to take. I will also talk about diagnostic as well. So in that, all these analytics are data-driven decision, helps in having data-driven decision and gain a competitive edge with respect to their competitors. So we kind of mentioned of these two concepts, which is very similar, ETL and AELT, where we have, who can tell me what ETL means?
Extract, transfer, and load.
Okay, the E is what?
Extract.
Extract, okay. What about ELT?
Extract, load, and transfer.
Transfer. So when we're gonna be doing Power BI, you'll be seeing this come into play. And we mentioned the different description, the different aspect of analytics. On the we mentioned descriptive one, we define it and what actually occur, examples, challenges, and solutions. We also mentioned diagnostic analytics as well, examine data to determine why a particular event or trend occur. We give example and challenges and also solution to it as well. We also mentioned examine predictive analytics. We define it as uses data statistical algorithms and also machine learning techniques to forecast future outcomes based on historical data. That means predictive data, predictive analytics also depends on descriptive analytics as well. So we mentioned prescriptive as well, which recommends action to optimize outcome based on predictive and descriptive models. So before you can prescribe, you have to carry out descriptive and also predictive. Okay. Okay. There is another analytics that take place. Part of this analytics is sentiment analysis. So sentiment analysis uses neutral natural language processing to
Understand.
understand and
Okay.
categorize emotions expressed in textual data. For example, when people send text, you can just see that their language it can convey sentiments, so you can analyze those sentiments and know what is the example of it. Analyzes social media comments to gauge public opinion about recent product launch. Okay, have you ever seen a situation like that before?
Yeah.
Social analyzes social media comments.
Yeah. That's
So,
another form of taking. That's another form of evaluating.
public opinion.
Yeah. Public opinion. Yes.
Okay. That being said, we also there's always a challenge you must encounter when you're having a sentiment analysis. So one of it is identify the underlying reasons behind negative sentiments. Okay, expressed in a customer view. So that somebody express something in a natural language, if you do not identify the reasons why such negative sentiment is being expressed, your solution may not be in view in the right direction. So that somebody make a comment, that's not enough for you to take such decision like that. You have to look at the root cause of that, the underlying reason why such person makes such expression in social media. So that could be a challenge, and the solution to it is what? Uncover that negative review were primarily due to specific functionality issue. So you have to address this in a, with the customer, so to have a customer insight, to improve customer insight into reality. That's good, right? Okay, we have another one is we have predictive maintenance analytics. So in predictive maintenance analytics, it uses data to predict equipment failures. Use data to predict. This is most common in manufacturing company, where you use equipment before they occur, like minimizing downtime. So not only manufacturing company, even a company that are using hardwares. So you know how long the hardwares, with the lifespan of the hardwares. Yeah, so you be able to, this is about predictive maintenance.
With this example is the laptops you use.
That's correct.
Each time you buy laptops, the maximum
Lifespan.
lifespan. Okay, let me put it that way. Is 3 years. Every 3 years, Microsoft expects you to buy new laptops, particularly in a commercial environment. They don't make the laptop, but they recommend, because they are the providers of the softwares and the environment upon which the laptop works. So by the time they improve on their own side, they know that the current one will not have the capacity. Or another example is updating. There's a point
that's what I want to talk about. Yeah.
They will tell you that they no longer will be able to support your hardware. Stop.
Yeah, because if the hardware is not strong enough to carry out the operating system, the new operating system, they will advise that you have an operating system that need to have so number of bits, so number of hard drive, so number of, it's about components as well. So, or if you have a laptop that is ranging between this and that, you will not be able to operate with the new
operating system.
So
that's why you see most times
mobile phone. Sorry.
That's why you see most times people who are using Windows 10 cannot upgrade to Windows 11, except you do it in an unauthorized way anyway. But you can't actually really upgrade to Windows 11.
But one can upgrade the system you have, like a memory and a processor and graphics in
Yeah.
order to, yeah.
Yes, if you do that, the issue there is that Microsoft will slow your machine down. They have the sensor that will slow the processing system down after a while. It will look fast to you, but after a while, what you're getting will be slowing down. And before you know, you start seeing hardware failures.
Yeah, went out for a short time. It was just for a short time. So
Is that
Yeah.
the same thing that operates with mobile phones?
Yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
yeah. So each of those software operating system comes with different features. And some of the components may not be user-friendly with the operating system. So, one will just tend to say, okay, upgrade your phone, upgrade your this, upgrade your that. So components used in manufacturing in a way.
So it's like even with the cars which they make. So the car manufacturer will tell once you buy a very new car, well, you buy a brand new car from the factory or from the car seller, whatever, they will tell you that if the car is new, for 3 years, it does not need any MOT. But after that, after 3 years, then you need to take that car for MOT, which is the maintenance level of it. Because if you take it for MOT, blah, 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 A, B, C, D, and then you need to take it for servicing. But they normally give 3 years, 3 years span. And then after that, you have to keep taking it for maintenance.
Correct.
Yeah, thank you. Right, that being said, we have a specific example using IoT sensor in manufacturing machinery to predict maintenance needs based on performance data. So if the machine is not performing as expected, you use the IoT sensors to predict maintenance-based sensor, which is very good.
Not everybody understands what IoT means.
Yes, just like
Internet of Things. That's the meaning.
sorry.
Internet of Things.
Oh yeah. That's what I mean. That's what they use in predicting the predictive maintenance. So you use that to determine. It's like, for example, where something appears on your dashboard, you have what is it called, sensor that you use in looking at what has gone wrong, and then you know how you can also maintain. That's how it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Barrister said Apple phone clearly admitted that the system gets slow over the years. Yes, of course, yeah, that's true. So the challenge, predicting the specific components likely to fail in complex machinery. So what can you mitigate against that? This time we're talking about maintenance. We know predictive long time, but this is maintenance. Predictive is about forecasting, okay? Now, by analyzing historical maintenance records and performance data, predictive maintenance models identify patterns indicating the potential failure points, allowing proactive components replacement. In most cases, if you already having a lifespan of an equipment, you already know when something needs to be changed, when it's supposed not to be changed. And it's very, very important that we get those data put down so that we have what is called routine maintenance or planned maintenance of any equipment. Those are our data. So in most cases in maintenance department, you have all these things. Okay.
And with that, in addition to that, is with planned or maintenance structure in place.
Excuse me.
It is far more easier for the machine to last longer,
Absolutely.
and far more easier, even if you want to sell it as a second hand, you get good value for it because it's got
Because you have historical data of maintenance.
so IG is your car that you service all the time. If you put a car with a very
Service
good
history.
and a car with a non-service history, the one with service history is likely to sell much more higher than the one without.
Thank you so much for that contribution as well. So we're moving forward. We have spatial analytics. Spatial analytics examines geographic data to understand patterns and relationships between locations. So there could be, if there's an occurrence in a place and another occurrence in that place, you look at pattern and how it goes. That will now see the relationship that exists between the two locations. So an example of it is analyzing traffic flow and population density to optimize city road networks. Can we have another example? Yeah, maybe.
Say,
Yeah.
for example, a delivery company.
Mhm.
They would use so maybe a delivery company working for like a Chinese restaurant who
Mhm.
delivers food for people. They
Mhm.
would use, they would look at the quickest routes to get to where they need to get to the various locations or destinations
Mhm.
to reduce their fuel costs and improve their delivery times. So they would look around, and then that's why some of them, like some of the Chinese companies, they will say, "Will it deliver within 10 minutes or 20 minutes radius?"
Yeah.
They won't go beyond that because of fuel costs, because it will cost them more to deliver if the place is further out. But
Mhm.
if you're willing to pay for that extra, then yes, it would deliver. So it's even like someone that bakes, like a chef who, like we have one of the chefs on this platform who bakes and cooks. She would say, "I will only deliver up to a certain radius. I won't deliver beyond this area. So if you want me to deliver beyond that area, then you have to pay that extra money for it. But anything within this mile radius, you get free delivery."
We have a chef here, we call it EMR.
Yes.
A very powerful chef.
I don't know.
It is
So
data governance training.
if you want cake, she will deliver up to a certain area. But after that, you have to pay for that delivery.
But she delivered to Nigeria.
She's a very powerful. It's good to have this thing sometime. Very powerful.
If you're willing to pay for that, she will deliver to Nigeria. But of course, you have to check if the labor union are not protesting on the streets, so it won't stop her plane from landing.
For your information, she didn't pay me for any advertisement, but it's good to mention, because it is mentioned. So I decided to follow up that. I'm only following a lead.
Okay.
So she's very good. She's very good. So, like putting it in perspective, you will understand that if she studied the geographical people, like now, people who actually take more order of her cake comes from Southeast. So that geographical data she has. Okay, I'm proud of that. There could be another geographical area that she's kind of dealing with. I might not know. So that helps her to look at the traffic flow of people who depends on the density of people who like cake, and that will help her to optimize, her network of business as well. So the challenge anybody of such business may face is to identify the most congested areas and determine optimal routes for traffic optimization. So it's very important that we know that, in fact, basically geographical, data and understand their relationship and their pattern. For example, if you're driving from central London to like Dover or to east, where do you think you will experience traffic most in London?
What's to east, isn't it?
Yeah, you live in Southwest.
I live in Southwest, yeah.
Okay, if you're driving from Southwest to east, where do you think you find traffic most?
Through Tower Bridge, down towards like as if you're going towards first. I know the first major
Canary Wharf side?
yeah, Canary Wharf side, the whole of that side. But the first major one you meet is Tower Bridge.
Tower Bridge, Elephant Castle Tower Bridge?
Yes, Elephant Castle Tower Bridge, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, if you're passing through Camberwell and you're going through Blackheath and then Blackwall Tunnel,
Yeah,
you meet how many where do you think you meet traffic?
This place where this man used to live, Ben. That that area.
Deptford?
No, not Deptford.
Bermondsey.
Bermondsey, yes.
Yeah, Bermondsey.
Yeah.
That is when you pass through Blackwall Tunnel, Rotherhithe Tunnel.
Rotherhithe Tunnel, yes. I have those Rotherhithe sides. Yes.
So if you're passing through Blackwall Tunnel, if you want to take Blackwall Tunnel, going through Camberwell, Pelka, Deptford, Blackheath, and you want to hit the road through Blackwall Tunnel through Blackheath.
Very high traffic on
Greenwich.
Blackheath, around Greenwich. Greenwich and Blackheath, yes, you get express traffic there. Yeah.
Okay. Now that's how geographical location data are. So that will determine the kind of if your hands up.
Yeah, I was going to say that it can also be used for things like volcanic eruptions, earthquake, because with the historical data they have from these areas in the past, they've been able to pinpoint exactly when the next volcanic eruption will take place, or when the next fault fissure in the Earth's crust will take place, or if there's going to be a tectonic movement in the Earth.
Yeah, that's true.
It's spatial analysis helps with all that. Even a prediction of when there's going to be a very hot summer, or when there's going to be more rain, or when there's going to be more snow. So that's all.
I think we have one that says we are going to experience rainfall for 21 days.
Exactly.
You see how this course is so much important.
Yes.
Trying to play around how we could, when you are employed in a place, when you are speaking, people say, how come? Because you know what you're doing. You just know what you're doing because you have the data and you just analyze. And then when you analyze it, you visualize it. And then that's going to be the next topic we're going to deal with in the curriculum. You visualize them and you have a domain to which you have to take some decisions. Okay, that's very good. Proud of you all. Okay. So we have what's called real-time analytics. Real-time. As the word implies, you will understand real-time analytics. Real-time analytics processes and analyzes data as it generated to provide immediate insight. Just real-time. You just analyze and also, have an insight through, you analyze, you process it, and you analyze it as the data are generated. So in order to have, immediate understanding of what the data is. So example, monetary stock market fluctuations an executed trade in milliseconds. So in milliseconds. So as the market is coming, it's fluctuating, you just analyze immediately and know when to buy, when to sell.
Yes.
That is real time.
Now,
Okay.
navigation is another thing, is another real-time device.
Which one?
Navigation, car navigation.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
especially which of the software.
Yeah, you're using, yeah. That's again,
Yeah, thank you. Especially which of the software. If you use Google Earth and if you use Waze will give you update immediately. As you're driving, if you have a car in front of you that having a situation or parked, it will tell you that there's a car parked in front. Just let us know if the car is still there. I know somebody in this place is an agent to them.
That's true.
As you're parking, as you're driving, is the car still there? Bam! The person will just press it. So it's very important. And the challenge you may have in real-time analytics is handling and analyzing massive volumes of financial data in real time. Because it's a sensitive, there's a risk analysis involved. So if you have a massive volumes of financial data that you need to analyze in real time, so you know that it's going to pose a lot of challenges. But what can you do in order to ensure that you mitigate and get such massive volume of financial data? You have to implement high-speed data processing system. So that is where we're talking about, you must not have a system that is slow. That's why we have AWS. For example, BBC, even Netflix uses AWS cloud to make sure they do what they are doing very fast, because it's very, very user-friendly and very fast in analysis. So you have to implement high-speed data processing system, enable real-time analytics of market data, allowing traders to make split-second decision based on up to the second information. Because if you have a system that is buffering, ring go ring.
Yeah, just
so and maybe the sales has passed, the gain has passed, you will not be able to operate. So yeah, follow.
Even breaking news. Yeah.
Breaking news.
Those are all real time.
Yeah, so when the news are passed, that's when you are breaking your own.
World Cup, when they're playing the football match.
That,
World Cup football.
That's correct.
You're able to watch it.
The World Cup is already on. Maybe they played it 2 days ago. It's now your own is showing.
Maybe you didn't pay your subscription on time.
So you wonder what's going on. So that's real-time analytics. We always call web analytics. Web analytics involves analyzing website data to understand user behavior and optimize online experience. So, okay, so more or less, example of it is click-through rates and user interaction to improve website usability. All this thing goes with, if you really want your web to be real-time as well, you know what to do. Improve your speed rate, high speed rate of analyzing the data. So the challenge you may have is identify specific website elements causing high bounce rates. So on that, you have a solution. Web analytics identify the slow loading times. The same thing I just said the other time. You need a very, very high speed data processing system. So we have customer analytics.
Sorry, one of them will be organizations like Facebook.
Okay.
For web analytics. They use it for their performance. They
Yep.
know how many mobile phones people use mobile phones to log on to Facebook. They also know when you use your other devices to log into Facebook. There's even like software they use now where if you log into Facebook using your mobile phone constantly, and then you want to log in using your, say for example, using your laptop or your iPad, they will bring up some sort of I can't remember what they can say. There's a dialog box that comes in to say someone is trying to log into your laptop.
If you are the one.
Details.
If
Can you
not.
click yes or no if you're the one or if you're not the one? So they have all those softwares now on websites like Facebook's and the rest of them.
Even banks do have it.
Banks too also do. When
Yeah,
you
they have
use-
the web analytics
Yeah.
to check to authenticate you and make sure that you are
The reason why banks use IPL, you know, to know if you log in, if you normally using your mobile phone internet, they won't bother. If you're using your household internet, remember, if you go to somewhere, use somebody, say, internet, they will be very surprised. They very not common that you use this kind of thing. You need to prove yourself if you are really the one using it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, right. So moving forward is a customer analytics. Customer analytics involves analyzing customer data to understand customer behavior and preferences. Of course, it's very, very, you know, common. They use it all the time. So example is creating customer segments based on purchasing habits and the demographic data. Right, can you give me another example of this, like using one particular e-commerce?
Advertising.
Amazon.
No, advertising. You know, in your phone.
Yeah.
You know, in your phone. They sometimes ask you certain questions if you're getting patterns of adverts. Yeah. If you want the provider to or those people to allow advertisers to start following your habits everywhere you go. There are some unsolicited adverts that you don't get. They may ask you, do you have any complaint against such adverts? Or you should take it away completely. Those are customer analytics tools they use in determining your behavior, things you'll be watching. If they know that you'll be buying shoes, anytime you come to any page involving shoes, they'll pop up that advert, or the advert will come up.
It is.
Even though you didn't solicit for it. So all these are customer analytics to analyze the behavior of customers or users of certain products.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have you learned something today?
Yes. I was going to use Amazon as a case study for customer analytics.
Very important.
Once you start buying anything from Amazon, they keep sending you adverts of things similar to that one.
Yeah, because they know
interested in this one. So they create the customer segments based on your purchasing habits and also where you live. So that's demographic data. So if they know you live in a cold climate, they will always they will send you adverts based on things you could use in a cold climate. And if you live in a hot climate, they will send you things based on wherever you live. And if you're someone who's into music, they will keep sending you all these things to do with music, beatbox and all that. So if you're someone into electronics, they will keep sending you all sorts of TVs and everything electronic is what they do. Same thing too with Next, where some people like to shop. I like to shop with Next. They keep sending you every time. They keep sending you pictures of clothes, dresses, trousers, whatever you like buying. They will just start flooding your devices with all those things. So they create those things based on your purchasing habits.
Even AI tools they use AI tools as
absolutely
powerful tools to to use to determine your behavior. Particularly if you have Spotify, you have iPhone and music or whatever, they will now model music. They will now package music of similar likeness for you. So anytime you go on your select list, you just see lists that you never even put together, but similar trends and things like that. So I think it's all automation.
Thank you so much. So I think you have learned something today, isn't it?
Yeah.
What I will do in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to ask some few questions, and just to recap, to refresh our memory, so that we can answer them. So let me stop sharing. The literature of this, I think I have sent it across to everyone. So because we couldn't finish it last week, that's what we're doing it right now. But if you know you have not received yours, do not hesitate to let me know. So what is the focus of sentiment analytics in text analytics? What is this focus of sentiment analysis in text analytics? What's the focus?
Is to identify the habit and behavior of consumers, and to ensure that data are used to pattern. Data are used to pattern the behaviors of consumers. Except I didn't get the question properly.
Yeah, the question is, what is the focus of sentiment analysis in text analytics? Basically, we mentioned that sentiment analysis employs natural language processing to understand and categorize emotions expressed in textual data. So, when we say we need to understand the reason why this emotion takes place, otherwise we'll not be able to analyze it properly. So the focus is to employ natural language processing to understand and categorize emotions. That is just the main focus of it. So could you provide an example of sentiment analysis application?
So, sentiment analysis is used to understand customers' feedbacks, I will say, customers' review. Say, for example, a company launches a new product. They want to see how customers react to that product through their sentiment analysis of social media. How much is that product mentioned on places like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and all that? They gather all that information and see how the product fares. So in other words, if the customers like the product, they would know from their feedbacks on social media platforms, from people's public opinion, like what you've put there. And if it's negative, they would also know, and then they can take it out from the market. So they use it based on users' experiences.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much on that. And what is the common challenge faced in sentiment analysis when dealing with negative customer sentiment?
Well, sometimes for some customers can deliberately just go the negative way because they don't like that particular company. That's been known to happen. So based on that feedback, could affect the sales of that product that has been put out there. And then sometimes people can just I would say the most common one for sentiments is people having living negative feedbacks could affect their products. So that's the most common, and then that could affect their sales and affect their profit margin, and then of course it will have a domino effect on other things such as unemployment and all that in the company.
Okay. So
Customers, how some companies behave towards customers could also result to a poor feedback, such that if your companies how they handle their customers, and customers are not satisfied, they will quickly just go and give a negative report to the company as well. I think, yeah.
And then some customers to use ambiguous language. They use jargons that people do not understand properly. I want to buy something. By the time you start putting all sorts of how will I put it now? Scientific names, or will I put it as if you start using a different thing from what I understand, I want simple language to know what I'm buying. But when you start putting all these scientific names or things I don't understand on there, in fact, I will just quickly close your page and move on to the next organization. So that could also affect the company's profitability.
absolutely. Thank you so much.
So, and then of course, it's no use for a company to sell micro skirts, or mini skirts or hot pants in a place like Saudi Arabia or Dubai or one of those places that is called Muslim countries. You sell those products there on your website, no one will buy any from you because you're going against the customs and traditions of that place. But of course, if you sell that in a purely westernized place like a state in America, yes, people will buy them from you. So you have to understand the
Demographic.
population. You have to understand the demographics of that place that you
Apart from the lifestyle.
yes, the lifestyle.
Thank you. So one of the most common challenges you face in sentiment analysis when dealing with negative customer sentiments is by identifying the root cause behind negative sentiments expressed in customers' reviews, okay, in a key challenge in sentiment analysis. So sometimes when you carry out a survey and somebody who is very sentimental in a way that he wants to express their concern, having a negative aspect of it. So if it does not bring out, if your survey does not question the customer review, then you might not know where it's coming from. So if somebody, okay, if he has bad review, why do you think is this? Why do you think your decision is this? It's like you're trying to get the root cause of what has necessitated the customer to have such a negative sentiment expressed to that effect. Your hand is up.
I was going to use a physical one, like a restaurant. You go into a restaurant, everyone is saying that place is dirty. The cutlery they give to you is dirty. The spoons you use, the plates you're using is dirty, and then probably their waiters or waitresses are rude. Of course, by the time you would leave a negative review on their website, I have done that before to a certain restaurant. The attitude of the waiters that were serving was very off-putting. If you want to stay. If you don't want to stay, you go. Obviously, the owner of that restaurant won't know that's what's happening, but you who go in there, you know what is happening. And then their attitudes very lackadaisical. They don't care whether you are sat down, whether you're not sat down. In fact, they just leave you groping at the door. No attention given to detail, no attention, no gesture made for you to feel welcome in that place. You would leave a negative feedback. But you go into a restaurant and everything there is clean. In fact, as soon as you get in there, you meet someone smiling at you. The people are smiling. In fact, the manager will come down and come and say hello to you. You will want to go in there all the time. So you would leave a positive feedback on that restaurant's website. So you find that the data that they will collect from that restaurant will either, for the sentiment side of it, will either be negative or positive. If there are more positives, it means it's a plus for the restaurant. But if there are more negatives, then that's a minus. And very soon that restaurant will do what other restaurants in the same situation have done, close down.
Yeah, that's a very good example as well. Very, very good example. Right. So any other thing? Have you learned something today?
Yeah.
Have you learned something today?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Good, good, good. So